favorite. I really loved it. I went to Philly and I was only there for a day and a half, but I just really loved my favorite whole session where we're math educators, so we're talking about our favorite things that we talk about for math education. And I brought that structure to class, and I've been doing it for 2 years, where the kids are now going to present on their favorite math topic. So I'm trying to get them to learn math, and they're going to talk about their favorite math topic. The handout I give them, well, here's some goals. Let me know if this sounds good to you. Do you want your students to find math interesting? Do you want your students to investigate math in their own time? Do you want your students to develop their presentation skills? Do you want your students to get the interest of other students in the class in their own math topics so they can influence their other students, their peers? Or do you want to expose your students to a diverse set of ideas, opinions, and experiences? That all sounds pretty good. I'm not promising that stuff, but it's a step down the path. All right, this is the handout. This link is at the bottom of every slide, so you don't have to rush to get it. But it goes to what the handout, what I give the kids at the beginning of every year. And it's a whole thing. What math thing? Yeah, there we go. What's one math thing that blew your hair back? I try to model that for them. So the first day or the second day, I do my favorite. Or if I find something cool in the news, I'll do my favorite. At the beginning of class, sometimes I write it in the middle of class if we need a nice transition. It's a really sort of a nice way to do things. I tell them only 2 minutes, 2 minutes at the very beginning of class. It's only 2 minutes. It's not scary for these guys to do this stuff. It's just something that's really been a lot of fun. This is a kid, Jeremy, who just barely passed. He had a 65 at the end of the year. But holy smokes, I had to stop him after 10 minutes about talking about 4D hypercubes. So into it. He loved it. He researched it for weeks beforehand. He talked to me about it over and over after class before this day because he wanted to figure out what he could get done in his 2 minutes, which was 10 to 15. This girl is just fantastic. I've had her for 2 years. She grabbed one of my geometry books. So I have books at the front of the class, and she just grabbed one at the beginning of her junior year, and she got really into doing the 3D geometry stuff. All that stuff that's hanging from the top of the classroom, that's all stuff that she made. Wow. And so she made this thing out of Post-its. Out of Post-its. Wow. She said it took her 7 movies, so she would watch movies and go through it. Really, really neat stuff. So
nice timing.
The amount of math that's involved here that she figured out just by having fun. It wasn't for my favorite, she was just doing this, but it was a great presentation anyway. This girl, Sean, is Sean here? Of course not. She covered Sean's F of U song. If you've heard of Sean's F of U song, it's a really great song. So she covered it. She's a singer. She did all that stuff. She performs at local bars. She's really into it. She covered that whole song, and it was just awesome. Here's some topics that we did this year. This is topics from this year. I didn't understand what maybe half these things were before, and I still don't necessarily. They don't either necessarily, but. This is all this year. Harris spiral.
What's that? Edmund spiral.
Ask Edmund.
Yeah.
Hyperbolic time chamber from Dragon Z. Awesome. Really cool. How penguins huddle in the cold. It's if you model penguins in the cold, the way they huddle is very similar to fluid dynamics. So it's really cool stuff. A lot of this stuff was just physics or chemistry too, and that's completely fine. Whatever, I didn't care. It's last year. Let me know if you see anything fun up here. Things that gave you pause when I first heard that they were doing it on.
Harry Ball theorem?
Harry Ball theorem. I don't know what she was Googling to find that. Really cool theorem though. If you have a tennis ball, you can't calm a tennis ball to have all the little hairs in the same direction without having a cowlick.
Note to self. Stop trying.
Pie cupcakes. it was her excuse to bake, so she brought in pie cupcakes and like, she brought cupcakes that were in a circle and she sort of showed how you can calculate. She just wanted to make cupcakes and bring them home. I didn't complain about that. Riot theory, this is a lot of fun stuff. Mold train, that's like a chemistry thing. Really neat stuff. It was just a lot of fun. Mandelbrot fractals is the reason why I got interested in Mandelbrot fractal stuff, because a student presented on it last year. And it sort of like invigorated me. Like, I just didn't know how simple it was in some ways to create, even though it doesn't look like it is. Resources. So the kids don't really know where to find this stuff. MathMunch is probably the absolute best source for that. You just send them to MathMunch, and then they have all this list of really accessible topics. So I would think about maybe half those topics came from MathMunch. And then if I find stuff on Twitter or in the news, I share it with Google Classroom. I just share them a link. And then they can, sometimes you'll see it like 3 months later. Oh yeah, that link that you sent back in September, that was really interesting. And I went back and I found it and I found some more stuff on it. So this is totally self-run. I have them schedule, they sign up for their own thing. Less than 5 minutes per student per year. That's really not that much time. I did it with pre-calc. I have another teacher at school that's doing it with geometry. You could do this with 7th grade math, where yes, the topics aren't going to be way up there, and that's completely awesome. They're going to find topics that are interested in them and go from there.